Welcome to Parlay TV.
Plenty of things look easy at first. Skydiving, lion taming. From the comfort of your armchair, all sorts of risks look easy as
Cristiano Ronaldo, Diogo Jota, and Bruno Fernandes literally
blew Russia off the park in a clinical display of attacking football.
Wow.
Sorry, what did you say, Kobe?
Wow, bro.
Let's break it down.
I am Pat Mayo, and I'm here to give you the best pick at the top of the board, the best bet, if you will.
So I'm going to go with just under 25 for Middleton here.
Hello there, football fans. James Sharman here with you, and today I'm using the word optimism. So far, just one COVID postponement at time of writing. So could we be slowly getting out of all this nonsense? Has every player now actually contracted Omicron? Is the herd immunized? I have no idea. Clearly, I'm not a doctor, but let's just get to the weekend's matches. The first of what should be a wonderful 2022 of football. A big one to kick things off. Yes, Arsenal against Man City. The Gunners in fourth place right now. City, of course, in first place. So fourth against first, but 15 points separate these two teams. In fact, City's 8 points now up on second place. Chelsea, they beat Brentford 1-0 during the week where they really sat in second gear through the entire match. They used 0 subs in that match. 0. So that means the likes of Raheem Sterling, Ilkay Gundogan, Riyad Mahrez are all nice and rested for this one. But with all the whining and complaining from managers about too many games, fixture congestion, to see Pep use no subs during the week doesn't really help that argument. By the way, Phil Foden and Jack Grealish were back this past week from their punishment, and Foden was just brilliant. So City looking really good. Arsenal looking good as well, but their manager, Mikel Arteta, is out through COVID protocols this weekend. Now, the update regarding Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, you know, that drama, that craziness, well, he's off to the African Cup of Nations. He's gone. So that drama, that soap opera is going to be put off for a few weeks, thankfully. City, they won 10 straight league games. They beat Arsenal 11 of the past 12 games. They beat them 5-0 in August. I know the Gunners are playing well, but it's City, right? City should win this one handsomely. Now, Leicester against Norwich, that is the one match that is called off, postponed, which isn't a bad thing for Norwich because they're just awful and they would have lost. So Leicester, get rested, get Jamie Vardy's hamstring back to full health, and we'll see you next week. Moving on now, Watford against Spurs. Watford 17th, Spurs sitting in 6th place now. And, well, Watford, here's something to consider. Forget will they win, will they lose? Forget that. Right now, Claudio Ranieri, who was apparently the savior who came in a few weeks ago, he's got 2 wins and 8 losses in his 10 games in charge. Now, the Pozzo family that owns Watford, they love firing managers. So look at the odds for Ranieri to be fired and for Watford to find a third manager of the season. That might be where the value is. As for Spurs, they fired their manager, of course, and brought in the new man, Antonio Conte, and it's night and day the way this team's playing at the moment. It's funny, this past week I was trying to think, who was the manager before Antonio Conte? It was like about a month ago, right? It was Nuno Espirito Santo, but for some reason I just completely forgot who he was. And even before him, Jose Mourinho. This team looks to be back to their very best. Harry Kane is scoring goals again, 3 in his past 4 games, and 1 disallowed during the midweek 1-1 game against Southampton. So Spurs, listen, Spurs and Harry Kane, they're going to roll over a very poor Watford this weekend. Next up, Crystal Palace against West Ham. Palace in 11th place right now. West Ham, they're sitting pretty, fighting for top 4 football, but more likely European football. And they welcome Declan Rice back from suspension, and he's been their best player all year long. While Palace are soon to lose 4 players to AFCON, the African Cup of Nations. 4 players. So this is a big match for Patrick Vieira's side before they get really weakened. Now, Palace are pretty good at home. West Ham are not great away. I really see a draw in this London derby. There won't be a draw in Everton against Brighton. 15th Toffees, 10th place Brighton. And Everton, do you remember them? Well, they've had their last 3 games postponed. So how do you gauge a team that's missed its last 3 games through COVID issues? It's crazy. However, given their injury concerns prior to this break, it might be a healthy break for them. But let's be honest, we're really critical of Everton this season and poor old Rafa Benitez, but they've been riddled with injuries. So this might not be a bad break. But they're playing Brighton, who for me are the Premier League's big little secret. They are as fun as any team to watch. They're coached superbly. They're stars, superstars in the making. Trust me, Brighton is a team to watch every weekend. And Brighton, I think, will beat Everton this weekend. Leeds against Burnley. This is very much a relegation 6-pointer. Poor old Leeds, 14 goals against in their last 3 games. Yeah, that's 14 goals against in the last 3 games. And the last 2 games have been postponed. They've also been injury ravaged, of course. That break might be good for them. While Burnley, well, they lost again this past week to Manchester United. I mean, they're losing to Man United. How bad can they be? Sorry, Red Devils fans, had to slide that one in there. But still, just 1 win on the campaign for Burnley. I think Leeds are better than they've shown this season. But so are Burnley. This is a tight one. This would be a tight affair. But I think Leeds are going to win this one. I spent too long in this match. Way too long. All right. But Leeds are going to win this one. It should be an interesting tilt, though. All right. Moving on. As I just lubricate the old vocals. Southampton against Newcastle. The Saints in 13th place. Newcastle still in 19th place. The Saints unbeaten in 3 games, but still really inconsistent. However, their captain, James Ward-Prowse, has been brilliant. Maybe the best set-piece taker, maybe not in the Premier League, maybe in Europe. He's that good. I do wonder if a big club might come in for him in January with a big money move, because he's just deadly from all sorts of set pieces, from free kicks to corners. He's brilliant. Now, a team that might think about signing a James Ward-Prowse might be Newcastle. Still just 1 win in the campaign, still in relegation trouble, but January means everything for Newcastle. They are the new superpowers of world football from a financial standpoint. They're going to spend money on a whole bunch of mercenaries because at this point, who wants to go to Newcastle, right? Men that want lots of money. So I don't know if that's Ward-Prowse or not, but they'll be redefining who they are in January. And they really got to get points pretty soon because they're otherwise looking at League Championship football next season. So this one, I'm thinking Newcastle get a second win. They look pretty good in a draw against United this past week. Brentford, Aston Villa, a mid-table clash. Brentford lost 1-0 to Man City, this week. Now, if you lose 1-0 to City, basically it's a win, right? Because that's pretty impressive. Just the one, you should get 3 points for that. Their home form, though, has disappeared of late. While Villa are obviously looking much better under Steven Gerrard, but he's out once again due to COVID protocols. They look well beaten by Chelsea on Boxing Day, but since then, 2 postponements either side of that match, including this week. They're kind of a team in limbo right now. We're not quite sure what they are given the postponements and the injuries, but John McGinn's back this weekend. I think Villa will win and will beat Brentford, so take the 3 points for that one. Chelsea against Liverpool. Yep, it's the marquee matchup this weekend. Let's be honest, it's a great 6-pointer for maybe second place in the table. So much for that great title race, right? That kind of is going away with the way City's playing. But the Reds are coming off a pretty poor December by their standards. They lost to Leicester this past week. They're losing Mo Salah and Sadio Mane and Naby Keita to AFCON after this match. Chelsea also very average in December, 9 points from 18. Now, it's good news for Chelsea in that Romelu Lukaku is scoring goals finally. He's healthy, 2 goals in his past 2 games. But the bad news is he's not happy. He's been talking to Sky Italia and complaining about Chelsea and kind of showing how he's not happy with Thomas Tuchel, the man in charge, and how he'd love to have stayed at Inter Milan. I don't know why he's saying this now. It's kind of crazy, but there's disharmony there at Chelsea, it seems. So it's not all great for Chelsea. I see a draw in this one, which is a real shame because if City beat Arsenal, as I think they will, and these 2 drop points, the race is probably done. Finally, Manchester United against Wolves. One moment. Man United, they're getting further and further towards where they want to be. All right, they want to get to top 4 football. They're going to be there, I think, or thereabouts, but they're not playing great at all at the moment. They won this week, but let's be honest. Under Ralph Rangnick, they've been inconsistent. The results have been okay. The performance is not so much, but Rangnick's smart. He looks really intelligent, right, with those glasses. So I think he'll figure it out. And Wolves will be a tough opponent. Listen, their last 2 games postponed as well. But prior to that, a 0-0 to Chelsea looked okay. They've really found their feet under Bruno Lage. So I think this will be a tight affair, a real tight affair. United are tough to gauge at the moment, but I've got a suspicion they'll win this weekend. So take United for the win. So that's it, 9 games. My voice is dying right now, but I'll be okay. I promise you for next week. It's 2022, right? Around the corner. There was good football in 2021. There was Euro. Canada were wonderful, of course. I expect bigger and better things with a World Cup and more Canada and more Premier League, of course, in 2022. Happy New Year.